Today I'm going to show you a technique, again common to many artists, of how to enlarge a drawing or a sketch or a photograph for working on at a larger scale. So we're going to call it gridding and scaling up. Okay. So I have here a little sketch I did out my window that I want to reproduce to a larger painting. I don't want to do it exactly as is. I'm going to crop it a little bit. So some cropping squares, maybe like this. Okay, square them up. You could use a little triangle there if you want to get it particularly square. Red pencil. Okay. That. I'm a little bit off. All right. And now I'm going to divide this up. What I found is helpful is 16 squares. Now, if I were to take a ruler to it, it would be some odd measurement that's very hard to subdivide. So I'm going to do this technique, just some scrap of newspaper with a straight edge. I'm going to mark beginning point, end point, and fold it over to there. They match. I fold it. I mark the fold, which is now very precisely halfway. I'm going to do it again. That's a quarter. Do this again over here. It's another quarter. And I have that length divided quite precisely into 4 segments. The reason I'm using a pen is it soaks through the newspaper, and you can see it easily when you fold it. I make the marks both in the top and the bottom of the picture, and then I'm simply going to connect the dots to get a straight line there. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing in this direction, but I use a new piece of paper because it's a different measurement. Okay. So beginning point, end point, fold it over halfway, fold it over a second time, a quarter, 3/4. Mark it onto the paper. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Connect the dots. Okay. Now my check is, does this rectangle look like that rectangle and that rectangle look like that one? And are all them the same, very same proportions? Yes, we're good to go. Now I want to enlarge this onto a larger piece of paper. Okay. Usually I put a border on the paper, but for clarity's sake, I'm just going to stay with what I have here. So using your X-ray vision, you align this corner, the red corner, onto that. And you can kind of see through the paper here, kind of see through the paper there. Okay, so small, and we want to get larger. Landscape format, landscape format. And I put the yardstick, or any straight edge, through the near corner of my sketch and the far corner too. Not the piece of paper, but the crop that I had indicated. And I'm just going to run out, now I'm working in pencil, just run out that line to the edge of the paper over here. What that means is this rectangle is now going to take the space from here to here and from here to that point. I'll drag that point. What I'm doing is looking at this by eye to make sure it's parallel, and I'm just going to draw that line over there. So just like you take a window on your computer and you pull the corner to get larger, that's what we've done. This has gone to here and this has gone to here. Now to reproduce that 16-part grid, we do the same thing over again. This piece of paper is too short. Maybe I could use the ruler at this point. This actually is 24 inches, so I can do that. This is probably an odd measurement. Yeah, 15 something. So I'm going to use the paper in this case. Beginning point, end point. Fold it. I see-through ink there. It's halfway. A quarter. 3/4. And now with pencil, mark this. I'm not using colored pencil because that would ruin the eventual drawing. Okay, so I mark that up. Mark this up over here. I'm going to mark this also. This was 24 divided. Okay, and again, just connect the dots. Okay, so what I have is a larger version of that red grid, exactly proportioned. Your next step would then be to go ahead and draw box by box the image as you see it on there lightly, and then eventually erase the grid and go ahead with your drawing. That's it, called gridding and scaling up using the diagonal.